This is Game Set Match Kentucky, episode 40, recorded on Saturday, August 24th, 2024, entitled Better Late Than Never. Hey everybody, it's time for another episode of Game Set Match Kentucky, where we talk about all things related to the Central Kentucky Tennis Series and probably a whole lot more that you never asked for. We're recording on Saturday, August 24th. I'm Chris Godby, the chairman and one of the founders of the CKTS, where the lines are good and sandbagging is for golf, and often we take a shot at pickleball whenever we get a chance. Not take a shot at playing it. We don't play it. Take a shot as in making fun of it, you know. I am still at Studio C, because I'm going through the world's slowest construction project, and that's nobody's fault but mine. Nobody's fault but mine, and maybe we'll update that in just a minute. Chad Young is in Studio B at his home in Scottsville, Kentucky. How are you, man?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing okay for a Saturday morning. I actually got almost enough sleep. Never will get enough sleep. I don't think that's happened all year long, but I get what I can get. So anyway, it's been a while since I've seen you in person, and I hope everything's going okay at work and with middle school tennis. And I know you got a lot going on.
Yeah, this is supposed to be the off season, but summer's been somewhat slow, but we're picking things up with the fall. We've got some events going on, and as you said, middle school started last week, so it's always a fun ride. But I got to play this morning, almost played 5 sets. Fortunately, we won in 4, so it was a good 2.5 hours of tennis, and it wasn't terribly hot. The humidity was low. I think that's what made it more bearable, but things are going to heat up as we get ready for Glasgow next weekend.
Last weekend I played. I was there in Bowling Green, but you weren't there. But I was in Bowling Green. You had to work, I think. I was playing in the Gator Open, which we'll talk about on our next episode of the podcast. But I played in the Gator Open and did something to my shoulder. I don't know. I was reaching for a high overhead, I think. And it came down, and I remember saying to my partner, I think it did something to my shoulder. But finished the match. It didn't really hurt till the next day. And this week, I've kind of been taking it easy. Some days are good, some days are bad. I hope everything's okay, because I want to be able to play in these tournaments that we've got coming up. Wasn't able to play for schedule reasons. I wasn't able to play in the state mix. So I want to wish good luck to our friends that are playing in that at this moment. Friday and yesterday and today, they're playing in the state mix, so good luck to them, and hope they're having a good time. I know they're having good weather, so we've got a ton of stuff today, and what we're going to do is we're going to go through everything as quickly as we can and try to do everything as much justice as we can. But we're going to start by looking at the results of last month's Danville Open. We're also going to look at, 2 tournaments today for the price of 1, Chad. We're going to look at Danville Open and also the Alton Blakley Lake Cumberland Open that happened earlier this month in Somerset. And, are you writing this down? If you got an intern with you, by the way, taking notes, I'm sure you got an intern there. Big, high-profile, professional guy like you has probably got an intern. Well, tell her or him to write this down, okay? We're going to look at the point standings today.
Oh, wow.
What are those? What are point standings? It's been so long, I've almost forgotten what that is. But yes, we have point standings. Better late than never, because eventually we got to know who's winning these divisions and who's going to get some awards and some hardware at the end of the season. So,
but we're what? Are we 5 tournaments in or 4?
We're actually 6 tournaments in. We're going to look at the first 5 tournaments. The 6th tournament, the Gator Open, which was last weekend, actually technically just finished on Thursday night. There was a match that had to be moved to Thursday night. I can't remember the reason, but now it's complete. And I'm going to print those. And on our next edition, we may have a couple more tournaments to add to the point standings. But we'll look at what we've got. We'll also take a peek at things that are coming up for the CKTS and for other tennis events that are happening around Kentucky. But first, let's jump straight into the Danville Open results. What do you have, Chad?
All right, in boys 12 singles, Connor Peace was the winner in the round robin by winning both of his matches, and Tucker Snow finished runner-up.
In boys 14 and under singles, Ace Osman was the champion, and Max Watson was the runner-up.
In boys 16 singles, Timothy Jones defeated Ace Osman.
In boys 18 and under singles, Harrison Odom was the champion, Jake Roy runner-up.
Girls, there was no girls 12 and under singles, so in girls 14 and under singles, Reagan Lee defeated Madeline Levy.
In girls 16 and under singles, Claire Riney was the champion by defeating Anna Watson.
Girls 18 and under singles, Peyton Limley defeated Paisley Harris.
In boys 18 and under doubles, the champions were Blake Bishop and Sean Williams. The runners-up were Isaac Murray and Walker Stevenson.
In girls 18 and under doubles, Peyton Limley and Paisley Harris defeated Claire Riney and Lauren Bragg in a third-set tiebreaker, 10-5 in the tiebreak.
In the mixed 18 and under doubles at the Danville Open, Mason Young and Emma Young defeated Jake Roy and Emma Bello for the championship.
In the adult divisions, in men's open singles, it was Matthew McGrail defeating Kyle Jeffries.
In men's C singles, it was Stephen Parsons, the champion, and Larry Kohler, the runner-up.
Men's B singles, Philip Riney defeated Evan Brown.
There was no men's 40 over singles. Let's go to women's open singles. The champion there was Susanna Prince defeating Allison Grace Gossett.
In women's B singles, Molly Demrow defeated Amber Wolf.
In men's open doubles, Micah Goodwin and Noah Swensky defeated Jacob Centers and Jose Guijosa.
In men's C doubles, there was a round robin, and Kaylin and Tanner Reed were the winners by going 2-0. Charles Roberts and James Roberts were the runners-up.
In men's B doubles, it was Van Patterson and Dan Duncan defeating Craig Overstreet and Troy Qualls.
There was no men's 40 doubles, so we'll go to women's open doubles, and Gracie Catton and Alexis Hales were the winners over Carmen Cundiff and Julia King.
In women's B doubles, it was a round robin. The champion was Sarah Brown and Jaylene Campos. The runner-up was Erin Riney and Lauren Bragg.
In mixed open doubles, it was a round robin. Stella McCumber and Matthew DaCosta were the winners, going 2-0. Abby Helm and Nathan McQuarrie were the runners-up.
And in mixed B doubles, Trevor Ball and Ava Clark were the champions. The runners-up were Amber Wolf and Evan Brown. So that's a look at the results of the 2024 Danville Open that was held July 20th and 21st, obviously, in Danville, Kentucky, at Millennium Park. There were also some matches at the Danville High School courts, which are stationed at Bate Middle School. And we had a brand new tournament director this year, Teo Costello. He's the coach of the Boyle County High School tennis team. And Pam Burkett was a lot of help to him, and her daughter Jana Burkett, and also Greg Foley, the coach of Danville High School. So lots of help and volunteers. And for the first time in Danville, I was impressed with how well they put everything together. They've already said they're ready to do it again next year, and we're excited to go back there. Very nice facilities, and just, it was hot. But, it's hot at most of these tournaments. There's not much you can do about that. But I had a good time, and with 2 straight round robin losses, still had a good time, and got to see some friends that I hadn't seen in a while. So I was glad to be there for that.
Okay.
Before we move ahead, Chad will tell you about Family Medical Centers.
Family Medical Centers is a community health center with more than 225 locations throughout South Central and a portion of North Central Kentucky in 33 counties. They've been providing health care to Kentuckians for over 17 years, providing complete primary care services. They also offer pediatrics, OBGYN, oral health services, school-based health centers, behavioral health services, mobile optometry services, substance use disorder treatment, a pediatric wellness program, workplace wellness program, a discount pharmacy program, outreach services, local scholarship opportunities, and more. Family Medical Centers has been recognized as a national quality leader by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. Check them out on their website at cumberlandfamilymedical.com or on Facebook at facebook.com/Family Medical Centers and on Instagram and Twitter at Cumberland FMC.
And a big thank you to Family Medical Centers. Now let's look at another tournament result more recently. This is from early August, August 3rd and 4th, the Alton Blakley Lake Cumberland Open. It was held in Somerset. This was the 6th or 7th year of that tournament, I think, and the volunteers there do a great job. We had a brand new tournament director. Again, 2 tournaments in a row, Chad, that we had a brand new tournament director. This time it was Allison Sobiek, friend of mine. She did an awesome job. I'm going to venture to say one of the best first-time jobs by a tournament director ever. Now, she does have a big crew of volunteers, too, including her husband, Chuck. Hello, Chuck, if you're watching. And that was another good tournament. They had a little bit of issue with rain. They can't help that, of course, but they had some rain that canceled part of their Saturday matches and moved everything to Sunday. But then they managed to conclude by supper time on Sunday. They were finished, and good response from people that played. People seemed to enjoy themselves again, and so thanks again to the Lake Cumberland Tennis Association, Allison and Chuck Sobiek, and Chris Atkinson for doing the scheduling. And let's go and take a look at those results, Chad, if you want to start with boys 12 and under singles.
Sure, boys 12 singles. Aaron Chang was the winner over Benjamin England.
In boys 14 and under singles, the champion was Isaac Murray, the runner-up Tanner Reed.
Boys 16 singles, it was Coleman Greathouse defeating Kaysen Peters.
In boys 18 and under singles, Beckett Zappin defeated Will Wagers for the championship.
There was no girls 12 and under singles, so we'll go to girls 14 and under singles, and Ellie Yan defeated Reagan Lee in a third set tiebreaker, 10-6 in the super tiebreak.
Close one. Well, here's Ellie Yan again. She had a busy day. That's one of your players, Chad.
That is correct.
She is also the champion of girls 16 and under singles, defeating Maddie Bullock.
Girls 18 singles, it was Marley Fleming defeating Morgan Robertson.
So for this tournament, they offered a boys 14 and under doubles. It was just an extra optional division that Lake Cumberland Tennis Association wanted to offer. They actually offered a girls 14 and under as well. They didn't have enough participants for that one. It doesn't get CKTS points. It's just something they wanted to offer. And so they did have 3 teams sign up to make it a round robin. And Isaac Murray and Winston Cook were the champions of that. The runners-up were Walker Stevenson and Austin Doan.
I'll interject that people might wonder, why they do that. Each tournament director has the ability to add divisions. There's only certain ones that are going to be, points awarded on the tour. The tours board decides what divisions are going to be offered, but tournament directors have the ability to add extra divisions. A lot of times,
sort of like what you did with the alumni division at the Sidney Cassidy. Mm-hmm.
Correct. The problem, the board goes by what divisions are seeing the most participation. There have been some divisions we've offered in the past when they're not making consistently, then we kind of drop them because we only want to offer what people are playing. So if we had more, boys 14 and girls 14, we might offer that. But the problem is, and this is kind of my opinion, if you have a really good 14-year-old, player that's probably playing at the varsity level, they probably want to compete against 18-year-olds.
Right.
And so that's why we only offer one age division for the junior doubles, is because, at the varsity level, it's basically everything's 18 and under. So that's
Mm-hmm.
why we do that.
Yeah.
Let's go to.
You're right too that it's kind of fluid. The divisions that we offer may never be the same 3 consecutive years. We are often cutting out a division from the tour that has not been very popular, or we're adding a new one that's kind of based on demand and what people are requesting. So, for a while, 18 and under singles was so big that we broke it down into 18s and 15s, and then we changed it to 18, 16, 14, 12. So I can see a scenario where we may end up losing a division or two going into next year and maybe adding something different. We'll see. We have 25 divisions right now, as you see that when we go over the point standings in just a few minutes. But boys 18 and under doubles, is that you?
Yeah, this boys 18 doubles, and and so that's trophies that have to be ordered for those divisions that sometimes aren't making.
More divisions and more trophies.
And I'll be honest with you, men's 40 doubles, I think is in a little bit of trouble. It hasn't filled very much this year, which is surprising to me.
That's not the one that's hurting the most. We'll see that in a minute.
So let's go to boys 18 doubles. It was a close final. Andrew Wolke and Lucas Hill defeated Chandler Wolke and Aaron Doan in a third set tiebreaker, 11-9 in the super breaker.
All right, in girls 18 and under doubles, Maddie Bullock and Macy Bullock were the champions. We're the runners-up, Brooklyn Wolke and Alexis Freeman.
And in mixed 18 and under doubles, it was Beckett Zappin and Marley Fleming defeating Will Wagers and Ellie Rader.
That'll take us now to the adult divisions. We'll start with men's open singles. Skylar Lee was the champion, and Colton Huffman was the runner-up.
In men's C singles, it was a round robin, and Larry Kohler was the winner, going 2-0. Charles Roberts, or Jamison Roberts, was the runner-up.
It was an all Somerset area final in men's B singles. Matthew Neal, he's from Monticello, I believe. So Wayne County and Pulaski County. Matthew Neal was the champion. Ryan Kelly was runner-up.
Men's 40 did not make, so we go to women's open singles, and it was Aisha Garza defeating Teray Handlos.
In women's B singles, there was no draw. Let's go to men's open doubles. Noah Earlywine and Luke Earlywine from Paris, Kentucky, defeated Thomas Chandler and Britt Chandler.
In men's C doubles, Kaylin and Tanner Reed defeated Charles and James Roberts.
In men's B doubles, it was Ryan Kelly and Chris Atkinson as champions, Matthew Nykirk and Ben Hampton runner-up.
Men's 40 doubles, Chris Atkinson and Darren Polston defeated Larry Kohler and Van Patterson.
2 doubles trophies for Chris Atkinson. There was no women's open doubles event at Somerset, so let's go to women's B doubles. It was a round robin. The champions were Emma Caffey and Savannah Heist. The runners-up, Sarah Brown and Melissa Harris.
Mixed open doubles saw Alexis Hales and Jackson Grover win the round robin, going 2-0. Christopher Godby and Trina Rickard were the runners-up.
Yay.
That's better than Danville when you went 0-2.
Ouch. You had to bring that up. Ooh, that's going to hurt. I need a drink of water. I may need to put some ice on that burn. All right, let's see. And is this the last? This is the last division for the Lake Cumberland Open. Mixed B doubles. It was Sarah Brown and Adam Brown, a husband and wife team, defeated April Harris and Scott Harris. That may also be a husband and wife team, but I honestly don't know.
Mm-hmm. It is.
Maybe it's brother and sister.
No, that is husband and
okay.
wife.
All right, you know them. Okay, good. All right, so the champions were the Browns, the runners-up, the Harrises. And that's a look at the Alton Blakley Lake Cumberland Open results. And before we move ahead, let me tell you about Vision Cabinet Source. They are a kitchen and bath cabinet supplier that ships all over the United States and has for over a decade. Whether you're building a new home or renovating a room in your home or building a podcast studio, Vision Cabinet Source can provide you with classic cabinet styles that are well built and affordable. You'll also find that they go above and beyond to provide service that exceeds expectations, from answering your initial questions to ensuring that you're happy with the final delivered product. Every Vision cabinet is built upon their promise to deliver well-constructed cabinets made from solid hardwoods, classic versatile designs that complement your style, affordable options that fit your budget, on-time delivery with shipment within 24 hours, accessible personal service you can count on. They have many different painted and stained lines of cabinets that are stocked at their warehouse in Campbellsville, Kentucky. In making these beautiful cabinets, they have a 17-step finishing process that assures top quality craftsmanship. Go online and look at their styles and designs for yourself. You'll agree that they do great work at an affordable price. Check them out on that website, visioncabinet.com, or you can call them at 270-465-3222. Tell them you heard about Vision Cabinet Source right here on Game Set Match Kentucky. Well, the title of today's show is Better Late Than Never. Was very late with the point standings, but here they come. Was late doing this podcast because it's been over a month since we did the last ones. We're glad to be back. Better late than never. And also Chad was kind of late this morning. Since he burned me, I'll burn him back a little bit. He was late for the 10 to 10:30 a.m. recording, and we finally got started at 11:30. No hard feelings at all. So we're going to look at the point standings now at long last. These point standings are online at ckTStour.com. As you're seeing this, you can view them at any time, and they'll be updated a little more quickly in the future, I think, and I've said that before, so don't hold me to it. Anyway, let me get that document. Let me make sure I got that document up on my screen, Chad. Are you ready? You want to start with men's open singles?
Yep, men's open singles. So we'll kind of give a snapshot of who's leading and who's in contention. Matthew McGrail is leading the way with 7.5 points. Kyle Jeffries is 2.5 points back. And of course, this is a different year for the point standings because there is no longer you have to be a member for your results to count, but you do have to qualify still.
I'm glad you mentioned that. Yes, everyone that plays now is in the point standings, since technically everyone that plays a CKTS tournament is a CKTS member now. So in the past, you only saw members listed. Now you'll see everybody, no matter how many or how few matches they've played. However, we have always had a rule in our 22-year history of the tour that you must play twice in a division to qualify to win that division. So when you're looking at the point standings and you see several names in blue on any given page, those are people that have only played once, and they need to play at least one more time to have a shot at earning the title. So the leaders will be in red. If you've qualified, your name will be in black, and that's how that works. So let's go now to men's B singles. The leader right now is Jun Tomioka, and the tied for second place are Evan Brown and Bivin Turner. Let me add this too. What we're looking at right now is just through the first 5 tournaments, from Miller Park in Campbellsville to the Lake Cumberland Open in Somerset. The Gator Open has just completed a couple of days ago. We're going to get those points updated soon as well.
Men's C singles, Larry Kohler, fresh off that win in the Lake Cumberland Open, is leading Jamison Roberts by 4.5 points. He's got a pretty good lead after playing all 5 tournaments so far this year.
Okay, men's 40 singles. I think you brought this up when we were going over some tournament results. It's been a light turnout, and there has only been one tournament so far where we had participants, or enough participants, to play men's 40 singles. So that division, I don't know, that could be on the chopping block because after one tournament, no one has qualified. Now, if somebody wants to win this award, we've got 2 tournaments left, Glasgow and Russell Springs. Play one of them, and you could end up winning the men's 40 and over singles this year.
All right, so let's switch to one of the junior divisions. Boys 18 and under singles is a pretty close race. Samuel Bryan leads Jake Roy by 1 point, 7-6.
And depending how the Gator Open results are going to look, we don't know. It still could be with 2 tournaments left. It's still an opportunity for some people to jump up near the top of the list. In boys 16 and under singles, at the end of the Somerset tournament, we have a 3-way tie for first place with Timothy Jones, Miles Mudd, and Ace Osman.
In boys 14 and under singles, Ace Osman has a healthy lead. He's won 3 of the 5 events and has a healthy lead over Tanner Reed, who's let's see, that's 8.5 points back.
It's going to be very, very difficult to catch.
Steep hill. That's a steep hill.
Yes. And boys 12 and under singles, Jonah Bradstreet has a narrow lead over 2 people tied for second place, Mason Hales and Tucker Snow.
Men's Open doubles, Matthew Smith leads the way with 7 points, and he is the only person in that division who is qualified. He's the only one who's played 2. Now, that doesn't count the Gators, so there might be some in there.
Go on down to the second page.
There's a Chad Young at the very, very. Oh, I see Brandon Harris. Yeah, Brandon Harris.
Brandon Harris would be, if the awards were today, he would be in second place, even that far down the list, because he's the only one that has. There's been really good numbers of participants, of various participants in men's open doubles, but it's just getting somebody to play 2 times. And and again, we'll see how Bowling Green Gator turns out, and then there are 2 tournaments remaining, so all this could drastically change.
Well, the Lord willing, Chad Young is playing Glasgow in the men's open division, so I'll at least be qualified. So,
well, you better play Russell Springs too.
I'll do my best.
Okay.
Listen, Trent has been on me for years to play her tournaments, so once I had the ability to do so, I'll try to play yours as well.
Well, it's not mine. It's not mine.
Oh no,
it's just in my city.
Town. Yeah, it's in your town.
My town. Yes,
it's in your town.
And I'm going to offer the use of my court. Yeah. So, who knows?
Couch.
And couch. Yeah, I did say that you could crash at my house. Yeah, you're more than welcome to do that. Yeah. Let's go to men's B doubles. Van Patterson is the leader right now with 14.5 points. His sometimes partner in doubles, June Tomioka, is in second place.
In men's C doubles, Jameson and James Roberts, the father-son duo, have a pretty healthy lead. They're both at 13 points. Richard Jackson and a host of others are at 8 points.
In men's 40 and over doubles, this is an event that we've had 3 of the first 5 tournaments and weren't able to field it 2 of the other times. But right now the leader is Darren Polston, who played in Campbellsville and Somerset. And technically in second place is the Humphreys brothers. Got a funny story about the Humphreys brothers. They're father and son, Don and Steve Humphreys. But they've been nicknamed for years as the Humphreys brothers. And at Somerset, they were playing. And I arrived for my match while they were on court playing theirs. They were wearing matching T-shirts that said Humphreys brothers, I think on the back. Matching. Now, nothing wrong with matching. Nothing wrong with doubles partners matching. But
yeah, because you've been accused of matching your partner before.
Been there, yeah, been there. The last match we won, we were not matching, and I'm kind of pushing towards that not matching. Ooh. So, anyway, in men's 40 doubles, the Humphreys brothers are in second place right now as of Somerset. Darren Polston in first place.
Another funny story. I think I've told you this. In Lexington a couple of years ago, someone was adamant to me that they were brothers. And I'm like, no, I don't think they are.
They act like brothers. They act more like brothers than father and son. And I'm not sure how old Don is, but he can play. He got new knees a few years ago, and he is a whole different player. And I've heard other people say that too. I've seen it for myself, but I've heard that from other people too. So shout out Don Humphreys. Way to go, way to play. It's encouraging. You've got boys 18 and under doubles.
Boys 18 and under doubles. So, doubles can be a little weird because you have people that sometimes play with multiple partners. Miles Mudd leads the way with 8 points over Josiah Castanier and Maddox Powell.
Okay, let's take an interesting look here at women's open singles. I would say that this is probably the most number of women that have played women's open singles in a long time. But what's the problem? Do you see the problem?
They're playing one event and that's it.
They've only each played once
Yeah,
as of Somerset. So,
nobody's qualified.
We're not spoiling ahead to Gator Open yet because I don't know. But as of Somerset, they've all just played one time, and that's several different participants. That's a good number for that division. It really is.
That's been a division that has struggled historically the last couple of years.
Yes, it has. It has struggled historically. So if you have played that in Campbellsville, E-Town, Danville, or Somerset, play it at Glasgow or Russell Springs. You've got new courts to play on in both of those towns. So let's take a look then at women's B singles.
Well, I did a quick glance, and so we did have women's open doubles make at the Gator Open.
Okay, good.
And one of these young ladies did play. Hallie Lindsay played, so she would qualify. And I think that is, I don't see the other one on there. So right now, she'd be the unofficial leader. She'd be the unofficial leader.
That's great. That's great.
All right, so let's go down to women's B singles. And Karina Rosales has a slim lead over Molly Dembo. Yeah, well, nobody's qualified, but there are three who are 1 point back. She's the only one qualified. She's played 2 events.
Yeah, this was Somerset was one of the rare tournaments that had women's open singles, but it didn't have anybody that wanted to play, or didn't have enough. Maybe just had one, and they had to play open because there was just one. Mm-hmm. That was a rare instance where there was open but not B, so that was odd. Yeah. But again, I encourage ladies, play one of these last couple tournaments and get a chance at a year-end title. Let's look at girls 18 and under singles right now. Peyton Venners, who's played all first 5 tournaments, is in the lead with 9 points. Paisley Harris and Peyton Lemley, those are both your players, right, Chad?
That's correct.
They are tied for second
together,
place.
But they've played singles and they've played quite a few events, so it'll probably come down to the last couple tournaments.
Yeah, they're tied for second, so we'll see what happens there. Maybe they did play Gator. And you've got girls 16.
Girls 16 singles. Claire Riney has a solid lead because I know she won the Gator Open too as well. So she has a big lead over Paisley Harris, who's in second right now.
And look at Ellie Yan coming in there at third.
Mm-hmm.
All right, girls 14 and under singles. We have a tie at the top between Reagan Lee and Ellie Yan. Both have 7 points.
In girls 12 and under singles, well, I think this was the answer to the question from earlier.
Yep. Interesting here that a division that in recent years has been pretty strong, those girls have grown up and moved on into older divisions, and nobody's coming up behind them just yet. So we've had no participation in girls 12 and under singles.
And I think the reason for that is I think a lot of girls are playing up. I think we have a lot of girls in the 12s that are also playing in the 14s.
I highly encourage that. So that's good to hear. And maybe it was played, we're not going to take the time to look, but maybe it was played at the Gator Open last weekend. We don't know. So, but it could be played in the last 2 tournaments as well. Here's another interesting one.
Women's open
doubles. Wow. And again, really good numbers. For 5 tournaments.
Had about 20 people.
Just once.
20 people have played in it, but nobody's played more than once. So nobody right now is qualified.
Yeah, and that's going to change. That's going to change. We're going to get. In fact, I recognize one name that I know played at the Gator, and I don't want to say it because there might be more, and I don't want to leave anybody out. And we're going to catch up to all that, though. We're going to catch up to all that. Better late than never.
Women's B doubles. Sarah Brown leads the way over Amber Wolf, who's currently in second place.
All right. And lots of women playing B doubles. Let's go down to girls 18 and under doubles, where Lauren Bragg is in the lead with 14 points over Claire Riney with 11.
Mixed open doubles. This is an interesting one because you have in mixed, you have a male leader and a female leader. And right now, at the top of the standings is a team that's played together. Alexis Hales leads the way with 10.5 points. Her partner for most of the tournaments has been Jackson Grover. He leads the males with 10 points.
And I believe Alexis picked up 2 points this past weekend, and so her lead is gonna extend a little bit. Jackson was not able to be there. Alexis played with our friend Brad, her father.
Her father.
All right, let's go then to mixed B doubles, where Evan Brown has 9 points and is the leader of the men, and his fiancee, Amber Wolf, has 7 points and is leading the women in mixed B doubles.
Mixed 18 doubles, Emma Bello and Jake Roy are the respective leaders. Emma leads the females and Jake Roy leads the males. They've played together twice. They both have 5 points. There's a ton of people behind them with 4, so that one could be decided in the last couple tournaments.
So that's a look at the current point standings through the first 5 tournaments. So it's not completely current since we've had 6. But let's look at some more opportunities to earn points that are coming up. We've got the Glasgow Open next weekend as we record this, a week from today, August 31st and September 1st. That's Labor Day weekend. It's obviously in Glasgow, Kentucky, where there are brand new tennis courts now at Barron County High School. So that's really exciting. That's been a long time coming. Looking forward to seeing those courts and more importantly, to playing on those courts. Entries will close this Tuesday, August 27th at 6 o'clock Central Time. Also, 2 weeks after that, this will be September 14th and 15th, the Russell Springs tournament is back. And the tournament is now called the First National Bank Russell County Open. Again, it's September 14th and 15th in Russell Springs and Jamestown, Kentucky. It's all in Russell County. It's all like 8 minutes apart. Entries will open on Monday, September 2nd. I forgot to edit that in the Google Doc. The deadline then will be Tuesday, September 10th at 6 p.m. Central Time. And beyond that, we are making plans now for a year-end event for CKTS. It's going to be sort of different than what you're used to the last few years. That's all I'm going to say about it right now. Chad, do you want to say anything about it while still being vague and really not saying much about it like I just did?
You know, I think I don't want to, well, you really put me on the spot to try to be vague.
You don't have to.
We want people to come and play tennis. It's going to feature, in the past, we've always had an awards ceremony with free tennis before. We're going to emphasize the free indoor tennis part of it.
Yes.
And try to get people to just come and just have some fun and make it a social event, I think is what our goal is.
Now, there are rumors that Game Set Match Kentucky's going to be there.
I've heard that rumor.
Yeah, I mean, I know you and I are going to be there, but like as Game Set Match Kentucky, like set up, maybe. It's just a rumor. I don't know if it's true or not, but we're the only ones that could confirm that rumor. So that's probably happening.
There's a difference between us being there and us having the equipment there to record a podcast.
Exactly. That's going to be on Sunday, November 10th. More details to come. You can visit cktstour.com to register for our tournaments and see our complete tournament schedule. Our tournaments, by the way, are sanctioned, USTA sanctioned, for juniors and adults at level 6. Our friends at SoKy Tennis, the Southern Kentucky Tennis Association, always have lots going on in the Bowling Green area. Chad, do you have anything you want to share about events coming up?
Yeah, you mentioned the CKTSs are level 6s. We have a level 4 adult tournament coming up after the CKTS season concludes. So 2 weeks after the Russell County tournament, we have a level 4 sectional tournament. It's called the Kentucky Age Group Open. This is not level based. This is all age based. So this is singles and doubles for 30 and over, 35 and over, 40 and over, and so on, going up to, I guess, 80, 85. So this is a new tournament. We're hoping to have a big turnout from the Bowling Green area and even broader in the CKTS area, and then hopefully state and even regionally. I know I have some players coming from out of state already signed up for it. So this is going to be a lot of fun to just try to play against people in your age group. You can certainly play down. If you're a 60-year-old and you want to play in the 40s, you can do that. But the USDA is trying to get more tournaments and more age level tournaments. And so we're really excited about this. It's part of a bluegrass circuit that we're trying to also work on. There was a tournament in Georgetown that was a level 5, and there was a level 5 in Louisville a couple weeks ago. And so this is part of that circuit that we're trying to build. But this is going to be an exciting event coming up September 27th and through the 29th. Registration is already open for that. And I think registration goes until about a week before the event. And you can find information.
Players need to be a USTA member?
You do not. You do not have to be a USTA member to participate. It's just like our tournaments. You pay the registration fee, but you do not have to be a USTA member to play.
Got it. Okay. Anything else in the way of SOKY announcements?
And then the other thing that we've got coming up, we're really trying to focus on social leagues. We've had a lot of success with teams at the USTA level, but we've tried to we're trying to kind of build community tennis, and I know Somerset has had some success with drop shots. Louisville and Lexington had as well. So we don't have it finalized, but we are planning a drop shots league that'll be at Caracas Park for this fall. It'll be an 8-week session, and that's going to start sometime in September if we can get the details finalized in the next couple of weeks for that.
Awesome. Well, you can visit.
Yeah, drop shots is a social play, but then a meal afterwards. It's really kind of emphasizing the social aspect of tennis.
Well, you can visit SokyTennis.net, their website, or find them on Facebook at facebook.com/SokyTennis. There's a lot going on at USTA Kentucky. Just check out their newsletter, and you'll see everything Kim Loneman puts out, that monthly newsletter. She emails it out, and she also puts it on the USTA Kentucky website, and you can find out virtually anything that's happening in Kentucky tennis, any announcements and events and so forth. So I picked a few random things that I wanted to highlight. First of all, we'd like to congratulate our friends in the Owensboro area. Center Court now offers 12 outdoor and 6 indoor courts. All of the courts at Center Court and Moreland Park were resurfaced as part of the project. And so adult championships and junior tournaments are going to be played on the new courts later this summer. It's always exciting to hear when a facility has updated their courts, resurfaced their courts, built new courts. It's always better to hear that than they turn them into that what sport.
So that's 24 outdoor courts within 2 miles. Center Court and Moreland Park are not that far from one another, and then you've got the indoor courts at Center Court. So that's a really nice facility. I'm glad that they've got some USTA events, and that's what it takes, is to have a large number of courts that can be used for those championships.
And along the same lines, congratulations to our pals over in Paducah. The courts at Bob Noble Park in Paducah have been resurfaced and are ready for play. So more exciting news there. If you're a beginner in the Louisville area, there's a beginner tennis opportunity for adults that's starting this week in Louisville. It's a newly formatted tennis apprentice for 2024. This adult 18 and over beginner program will have you playing tennis with your friends, making new friends, and preparing you for a lifetime of a good, healthy habit. Each session will include 1.5 hours of instruction each week for 9 weeks. One option will be at Seneca Park on Wednesdays from 6:30 to 8 p.m. That's August 28th, so it starts this week. That's August 28th through October 23rd. The other session will be at Crescent Hill on Tuesdays from 6 o'clock to 7:30 p.m. That session will begin this Tuesday, August 22nd, and run through, this Tuesday, August 27th, I misspoke, and then it will run through October 22nd. Look for the details, again, in the newsletter at KentuckyTennis.com or USTAKentucky.com. Both of those domain names will take you to the same website. And speaking of that website, I don't know if you've seen this or not, Chad. How about some USTA merchandise? USTA Kentucky now offers ordering of shirts, hats, visors. Chad, go ahead and bring up that page in your browser if you haven't seen it yet. Just go to KentuckyTennis.com and there's an announcement somewhere there about merchandise if you scroll down the page just a little bit. Okay. But anyway, we'll look at that together in a second. They now offer ordering of shirts, hats, visors, and towels, various colors, styles, and sizes, and you can buy it all online and have it shipped straight to your house in time to look sharp for your next tournament or league, or maybe if you're showing up to drop shots for the first time, you can sport some new USTA Kentucky gear. So let's take a look. So they've got several different t-shirt styles for women and some styles for men or unisex. I see the ladies' performance tank top there. I like those long towels. Yes. I like those long hand towels that are easy to hang over the bench or hang over the fence nearby. I like those, and plenty of cool caps and visors. I'm a visor guy, and I kind of like that safety yellow one, you know. Maybe my opponents will confuse my movement with the ball, you know, and it might be kind of distracting. Shh, I shouldn't give away that secret. So maybe I'll check out that visor. But let's see what else. What do you think? What are you going to order? If you're going to order something, what are you going to get?
I like this Nike hat, this Nike black hat with the USTA logo on it. And I'm the same as you. I like those towels. If you play USTA state championships, sometimes they have shirts, but they also have towels available. And I'm one of those people that, especially this time of year, I need as many towels as possible.
And one more announcement about USTA Kentucky. Don't forget, now through September 15th, so just a couple of weeks to go, the window is still open to nominate someone for USTA Kentucky awards. For more details on these and many other events happening with USTA Kentucky, visit KentuckyTennis.com or go to USTA Kentucky on Facebook. You can also email us your tennis news and event information to info@GameSetMatchKY.com. Chad, we don't have a challenge the call today. We've had one for the last couple of weeks, but we don't really have time for one today because it's already been quite a long episode and we both need to get moving. So if you want to challenge the call on an upcoming episode, you can send your question to challenge@GameSetMatchKY.com. With that, we're ready to serve out another episode. Thanks to everyone that watches our program on Facebook or YouTube or listens to us on any major podcast app. Don't forget, by the way, in your podcast app, you can give us a review and a 5-star rating. You can also visit our website, GameSetMatchKY.com, to go back through all the episodes and show notes and links for things that we mention on the program. On Facebook, you can find us at Game Set Match Kentucky, the podcast. You can find the Central Kentucky Tennis Series by searching for CKTS Central Kentucky Tennis Series. We're also on Instagram. The podcast is on Instagram at Game Set Match KY. CKTS is on Instagram at CKTS Tour. Our YouTube channel is youtube.com/@GameSetMatchKY. You can also follow us on X. Chad Young is on X at Chad Young Tennis, and I am on X at Chris Godby. We'd also like to thank our sponsors once again, Vision Cabinet Source and Family Medical Centers. There it comes again. We should hear that earlier. Maybe it would get us to finish earlier, but here it is. Hawkeye says, we are out. Are you sure? Yes, I'm sure. Okay. We are out. Chad, any final thoughts before we go?
No, is good to sit down and talk and get caught up, and hopefully we'll have a couple good weeks left on the tour this year.
We are back. Better late than never. Lots of things are back, including us, including the point standings. So until next time, I'm Chris Godby with Chad Young, and this has been Game Set Match Kentucky.